Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ARISKA DEWI from TBI3 and my ID number is T2019-61 and 19. Here I will explain about functional theories of translation. So functionalism means focusing on the function of text and translation. Functionalism is broad term for various theories that approach translation is in this way. Functionalist approach to translation were invented in the early 20th century in Germany. German functionalism plays a major role in the history of translation, but it did not appear overnight. Functionalism approach to translation were developed in Germany by a number of German translations in the late 1970s. However, throughout its history, functionalism has its roots in early translation practice, especially in literary Bible translation. In the Bible translation, in a sense, translating consists in reproducing in the reciprocal language RTL the closest natural equivalent for the source language RCL message. For this equivalence-based approach, the emphasis is on the faithfulness or equivalence of the target text or TT to the source text or ST. The original text has an absolute privilege over the translated text. Such a linguistic perspective undoubtedly had its merits, but at the same time, its demerits obvious reveal. In the translation practice, it was found that there was case when word-for-word fidelity to the source text was not desired. This is because translation is not strictly limited to linguistic points, and the linguistic equivalence is often not a prerequisite for the translation of informative text such as technical report, news, business document, and instruction. To sum up, such an equivalence-based linguistic approach still focuses on the source text or ST, according to which the characteristic of the source the text must be preserved in the text target or TT, and the TT must be equivalent to the ST. However, equivalence cannot solve all the translation problems. In many translation efforts, translators encounter many cases in which functional matters take precedence over the normal standard of equivalence, especially at the information age beginning from 1970s linguistic-oriented. Theorists did some adjustments in their own approach, but seem to cause more disorder. Thus, it was necessary to call for a new theory which could explore translation studies from an alternative perspective. The 1970s and the 1980s witnessed a shift from the static linguistic typologies of translation and the emergence in Germany of a functionalist and communicative approach to the analysis translation. According to North 1991-28, although the functional approach marks the importance of the TT, it does not neglect the importance of the ST and highlights its importance for the production of TT that is highly accepted by the target readership. In this vein, North reinforced that in the Western culture, 2 points are particularly expected from a TT, functional of the TT, but also loyalty towards the ST sender and his intention. Moreover, North 1991, points out that being loyal in functionalist terms means to be in tune with the ST intention and not simply with the structure of the ST. Each text must have a different function, but the translation must be loyal to intention. Adapting to this structure of the TT to a different function or scopus. Functionalists approach generally believe that the function of the text in the target culture determines the method of translation. They emphasize the importance of the target text as the goal of the translation process. Basic theories of or concept from functional translation theory, the background and development of functional translation theory has been introduced in previous section. In the following section, some basic theories or concepts from functional translation theories will be introduced. First, scopus theory. In the scopus theory, functionalism is a broad term for various theories that approach translation based on the function of text. The most popular among the functionalist approach is what we call the scopus theory. The scopus theory, originating in Germany, has two major leading exponents. One was Hans J. Vermeer in an earlier time, and the other was Christian North. At the latter time, scopus is a Greek word for purpose, intent, goal, aim, and function. In Vermeer's point of view, any forms of translation action must be conceived as an action, and any action has an aim, a purpose. Vermeer argues that the ST is produced for a situation in the source culture which may not be the same in the target culture. It then follows that the translation should be produced to suit the purpose for which it is needed in the target culture. The ST is oriented towards and it corresponds to the source culture. Then it is quite different from equivalence based theories, where the source text is absolutely the yardstick and equivalence is the top principle. In the functional theories, what the theories must concern about is the purpose or the effect of the target text. There are three golden rules in the scopus theory. So first is scopus rule, the second is coherence rule, and the last one is fidelity rules. So that's all about functional theories of translation. Thank you for watching this video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.